Good evening, everyone. It's Monday, September 8th, 2025. You're watching Co-op for Two, broadcasting live from Champaign, Illinois. You're joining me for our third session, our third gameplay of Vantage. These are not really connected games, so you could join at any time here, but there is a little bit of knowledge of previous, what would you say, landmarks, locations, objects, so we will be gaining information about this world as we play. Let me check in with the chat, see how everyone is doing. I am recovering from a severe lack of sleep over the last 3 or 4 days. I've been at a local board game convention here in town called Tabletop Central. I had a little table where I was showing off New York Noir and running a couple games of it, but my sleep schedule drifts in and out of daytime, nighttime mode. If I have my preference, I'll keep to the nighttime, but I was there at 8 a.m. every morning, and I couldn't get my sleep schedule to to cooperate. So I've been working on very little sleep, but I'm finally starting to catch up, and I am thrilled to be back here with all of you and sort of reset into my non-social interaction stuff. Somehow it's a little different here. Okay, so let's do a little bit of catching up before we get started, and then I think what we'll do is we'll discuss, hopefully I'll remember how to play. It's been a couple weeks. I don't know if we want to get into a schedule of playing every Monday, every week. We'll see. I am curious to play some more Vantage. I still don't know exactly how I feel about this game. There's parts of it that I really like, but then there are parts of it that I'm not sure. I've been impressed by it, but I can't tell if it's going to start to fall apart at some point. Relaxing music. No, I have a very hard time falling to sleep. I tend to listen to audiobooks that I don't like. They put me to sleep. What else news before we get started here? I am drinking some, this is Colombian from Mad Goat that I've been drinking, coffee. You can see it says it's City Plus, which basically is just the level of darkness, light. It's fairly light. But here's this weird thing. It's washed, which normally means it doesn't have that sort of fermented taste. And yet it's double fermented, which I don't even know what that means. It's not co-fermented, which I've talked about is their little scam where they flavor it. What's that dot on the screen? Is that dot on the camera? I think it is. That little white dot right there. That's on the camera. Right? No? What is that? Oh, I know what it is. That's the green screen. Some dot must be on the green screen. All right. Oh, I tore the green screen. Oh boy, that's gonna be... I was messing with my 3D pieces on torn the green screen. Okay, hopefully that won't be noticeable. What else is new? I got a new 3D printer finally. My first 3D printer is from 2017, 2018. I finally bought a new 3D printer, and boy, is the speed is a huge improvement from the old days, but the reliability is a lot better. I'll show you some of the things I did. So you may know that I have these 3D printed rails that can go on the front, but more importantly, the side of the table. And then I have various things that I put on these. For example, these little game trays that have magnets on the bottoms that can sit there on the rail and won't get knocked off very easily. And then lately you can see here for Vantage, I printed this little 3-compartment tray with little angled sides. I configured a couple of different versions of that. And of course, this is 3D printed. Also 3D printed a little dice tower that I did not design. Some of those trays. And so this could go right here, I thought. And then I have a little tray to catch it. Like that. But anyway, just stuff that I'm fooling around with. I don't think this is quite appropriate for us, but anyway. So that's my 3D printer stuff. There's people that are very good at 3D modeling. I do not have a good 3D spatial appreciation of the world, but there are a couple of software tools that let you programmatically design stuff. OpenSCAD is the one I use, and then you can just say, I want a box here and draw a line here. It's pretty amazing what you can do with the 3D printers and the 3D modeling these days. All right, what else do we need to catch up on? So I talked about Tabletop Central. Do I have a little picture for you? Let's see if I do. Oh yeah, there's my little table without me, but that's what I show off, little brochures and talk to people. Mainly I'm trying to find people not to play the game, but to write cases for it. So people come up, they're like, can you buy this? I'm like, no, you can't buy it, but you can write cases for it. All right, that's that. Anything else? I have one more thing I wanted to chat about. We talked a lot about High and Low, the Akira Kurosawa noir masterpiece. One of maybe my favorite Akira Kurosawa movie. Oh, Seven Samurai is right up there. But High and Low is an amazing movie. And in fact, New York Noir used to be called High and Low as an homage to that movie. And we've talked about how High and Low was being remade by Spike Lee. Maybe a year ago or so, we started talking about it. Well, it finally came out. Went almost right to Apple TV. And I got a chance to see it. Now, I should say, I am not one of these people that gets upset when movies get remade and they change stuff. Like, what do I care? I've got my original. It makes me happy. You want to remake it and change things about it, it's no skin off my back. But, you know, the reviews were coming in saying how good it was. And I was like, oh, all right. I mean, I don't love Spike Lee, but I don't hate Spike Lee either, the director. And the reviews were very positive, and I finally got a chance to see it. And it is shockingly bad. Just inexplicably terrible. The acting is really bad. I mean, it looks like a sort of amateur. I mean, the cinematography looks okay. But wow, is that self-indulgent, lazy, looks like they didn't bother learning their lines. It's just ridiculously bad. I don't know how they're making these movies. I don't know how they're spending millions of dollars on these bad movies. It's like they don't even care anymore. And so, good riddance. The AI is going to come take over. The AI is going to get rid of all this stuff. We won't need the humans for this. If you're going to make the bad movies, let the AI do it. All right. Anything else to talk about before we get started here? One more thing. I have scheduled a bunch of live streams for this week. Cryptic Killer's new case, Murder of a Magician, on Thursday And then Saturday, Hunt to Killer, Game Night Gone Wrong. Those 2 games behind me there. Sunday we'll be doing something in the afternoon. Maybe not starting a new case of Dear Holmes. Maybe playing something else. It's possible I'll also do a live stream on Friday, depending on how I'm feeling. Anything else to cover before we get started? All right. Then let's get started with Vantage. Now, I guess we are going to pick a new starting mission person. Do we want to play the same person we played last time? Do we want to keep playing that person? I think maybe we should keep playing that same person until we until we achieve their destiny, and then switch. Where is our person? This is who we've been playing, I believe. Right? The person who's good at looking, although he doesn't look that competent. Is everyone okay with that as a plan? And then I think that makes sense. Play the person until you accomplish their destiny, and then we'll switch over to a new one. So that's their actual character card. This is our placeholder card. And we haven't done their things. These are their special actions that we can take to, I think, go into try to achieve their destiny. Now, on our last playthrough, our first playthrough was kind of like a throwaway. We were learning the rules. We made a couple of mistakes. The mission 2, the last playthrough, was a real one. Jonathan convinced me to play on normal difficulty. Normally, I change all these dials to the easy mode so we can explore. We did have a long, epic session, and we did complete our mission, which was to take over a city. It was a very aggressive military-like mission, and in fact, there were places we wanted to explore, but we were so focused on the mission that we didn't, and we had to be, because we just barely made it and succeeded. But it was satisfying that we succeeded. But there was some talk afterwards that were we too ruthless in trying to achieve our mission instead of exploring when we wanted to explore. So I think what we need to do, I tend to be very goal-focused, task-oriented, if that's what we set out to do. So I think what we need to do is decide, are we going to play this and be very focused on our mission for any given session? We can change our mind for different sessions. But if the group wants to have an exploration mission and don't worry about the goal, we can do that. We can look at the goal first and then decide. And that's sort of how the game was designed, right? The game was designed, the rules say, hey, if you want to go for your goal, your destiny, do it. If you just want to explore, that's fine too. So, I want the group to let me know. We've got a small group here. So let me know what you're feeling. Maybe we'll get a random goal and random starting position and then talk about it. The other thing is what I've been telling Jonathan Warner, who tends to join me for these things, is that the way I play these games, I don't ask the audience always for what you want to do. Occasionally I will. But sometimes, like in the last mission, Jonathan was like, go do this, desecrate this religious site. It was stuff that I was like, I don't know about that. But the way I tend to play these things is I might disregard things that the audience, the chat says they want to do, because I can't quite read how serious you are when sometimes you guys want me to do these things that are like, poke the bear. I'm like, I don't think we should poke the bear. But so I think you're sort of joking, but you should know that I'm fully capable of doing something reckless and ruining the session if it's important to people. So the deal we're going to make is you guys got to let me know when something's important, like you really want to try something. And then you can override my judgment. All right. So Jonathan says he wants to see the goal before we decide whether we're going to be reckless. All right. I may have to refer to the rules. And you'll remember also that last time we played with this app that made everything easier. And so we're going to do that again today. But remember, this is how you start the mission. Right? There's our rules. The rules tell you how to set up. But it basically seeding the dice pool, whatever, but actually this is the start one. Okay, but everything is explained to you on the back of these two things. Here we go. Okay, so we've got a signal from the Traveler who we have met in our previous missions. 8 dice plus 2 plus per player. I've already set those aside here into our challenge pool. And now we've chosen, rather than rolling, for our character. And we get that skill belonging to our character. And then we're going to put it out here in our grid. We'll keep our tokens here. And then we get our when placed bonus, which is 2 tokens here. All right, now we set our skills. Are they called skills? Whatever they are, they're resource, our trackers. Now, last time we played on daring, I don't know if that's where you want to play again. I mean, I really feel like we should, in general, be playing this game on max. But let's at least go practical. I think generally that my speed of play is on the 6 cautious. Cautious matches my personality. Unfortunately, I hate to admit it, but all right. Practical works for me, says Jonathan. The first player gains 2 skills at random. All right, so there's our dice. There's our random. So remember, they're all color coded. This is the move type of skill, and this is the overpower or aggressive skill. We occasionally have been seeing these on landmarks. Oh, and we're supposed to take the matching mission. Where's the first player bonus? Different skill. Each player does this. First player gets 10 skill. Oh, that's us. That's what we're doing here. All right, so what did we get? We got this one here, 1580. All right, let's see what 1580 looks like. Well, this is the opposite of our aggressive take over a city. Here we've got something that any scientist would be happy to have as a mission. Collect flora samples. Have a total of at least 1 flora, plus 1 per player, in grids or reserves. Doesn't seem so hard, does it? So 2 flora total. And if we research this, we'll probably get a little map showing us where different flora are. This seems very doable. So I think maybe this mission is going to be our explore, do what you want mission. And we'll just pick up some plants on the way, right? Okay. it's a little unusual that that matches the take, but maybe take, it's not take, it's overpower. But I guess we're just collecting them. Because yellow is take. Well, maybe the flora are aggressive on this planet. Well, they don't seem to be. All right, so we got our random skills, we got our things, and now it says, next step, each player gains a different skill, place them or choose, select or randomize, places the matching token in their location card holder. I like the idea of saying that after you get your mission, you should choose. I think that makes more sense than random. But I guess when you're supposed to take the thing you do. But all right, since we are collecting things, that's the take. I think it would make thematic sense for us to take symbol. All right, and that's 4 skill tokens that we have, which is exactly what we should have. And we're getting out starting card 6. Your escape pod seals tight, ejecting toward the planet in a completely different direction from the others. Gain 2 random skills, crash into the matching location. You may re-roll pairs to get an easier location. All right, so here we go. We're rolling 2 dice to see our starting location. Very thematically appropriate. All right. So where does that put us? Looks like 419 is our starting location. Now, have I forgotten any of the rules yet? I suppose we better not forget to take those skills. All right, well, we've got lots of movement. Here's our 419. Oh, well, we've been here before, haven't we? So this mission is starting out in a location that we've been. That's a little bit interesting, actually. So are we ready to get started? Is there anything we've forgotten? Do we want to, if we wanted to, we could re-roll and crash someplace new, but this is actually interesting because it took us a while to get here last time, and so we haven't explored too much from here. We went north last time up into those mountains. We saw some interesting things here, actually. But flora and fauna, you wouldn't expect to be in the mountains, but I guess there's plants that live everywhere. All right, so let's remind ourselves of this. If we're serious about this, we may want to start, like, research on this card will probably give us the map. This seems like a good starting place, though, doesn't it? Like, I know before we start exploring this location, we should at least get the map of flora and fauna. I mean, that seems fairly obvious, so we know what we care about, yeah? So let's do the research action here. Do I remember how to play? It's a research action. 14. I gotta figure out a better way so I can see these things here. Research action on 1580. Anything else we need to set up? I really should have read the rules a little bit. I should have reread the rules before. After 2 weeks, it's all gone from my memory. I mean, I believe I know. We don't start out with any money. Choose an action. We pay the cost. I know how to do everything. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm not forgetting anything. Well, I suppose the audience will. I say that, but the audience really isn't going to save me, are they? The audience is not going to save me. Okay, 1580. Let's see what we've got here. How can you research how you can complete the mission? It's a 2 test, can be performed at most once per game. Yeah, okay. So it's a 2 test, so we're going to roll 2 dice. We could choose to spend a token. Let's remind ourselves that what we've got available on our character card. We can spend 2 boosts to get a money or a move token, or to reroll a challenge die. We can put any purple look die here and any hourglass here. All right, let's keep our token. Let's just roll these things here. Okay, so 2 setbacks. That's just fine. That just means they go right back into the supply rather than going here, but no other loss of resources. So that's just fine. You're collecting flowers for the royal greenhouse on your world. A variety of flora are scattered across the world, ready to be plucked. To help find locations where you can find flora, gain the map of flora 1263. Okay, so that's going to be in our book of Vantages. Or I guess it's giving us a card that's going to refer to the book of Vantages. That's what it is. All right, so 1263. I do like this system where you get a card that points you to the book or whatever. All right, so here we go. That's the card that becomes in our possession, which is going to let us look at the book of Vantages. Normally, the way you can see the way we have to do this, if we have to pay to look and then we have to throw it away. We're not going to do that. Once we have access to the book, we're going to look at it whenever we want. Now that you know this, I wonder if we shouldn't start waiting to do this until we have other cards in our backpack. But this is going to go on the board. I guess I'll put it, let's put it up here since we don't need to refer to it very often. All right, as soon as it comes out, we get 1 boost per adjacent card. There's only 1 of them. We can spend them for a move token or to look at the book of Vantages. 1, we'll probably do that right away. We'll pay for the first one, but we won't pay to re-look at it. Whenever we're taking the move icon, we can put a re-roll, a setback on it, and anytime we're navigating, we're doing a look navigate, we can put a die there. Well, I think we should do this right now. Spend this to look at the map of flora and fauna. Is it only flora? It's only flora, not the fauna, just the plants, not the animals. All right, so here we have it. Now, if we were smart, we'd remember where we are because we have been here before. And in fact, if we were taking notes, we would know where we are. I believe we're on the edge here. Wasn't that right? I believe we were on the edge in F or J. Jonathan says it's F, on the F coast. So this is very fortuitous that we sort of know where we are. Remember, these pins are different for flora, but this overall map is the same. So last time we were looking for a city was here. So if we want to find flora and fauna, it looks like there's a lot of it here, a lot of it down south, but there's two in our actual location, but a little hard to, only two here. I'd be more, a little happier with a little denser thing. Look at this though, they're all here. So where do we want to try to approach our flora? Should we just head west and try to run into one of these? Seems like we're going to have to go, well, we could either go west and try to hit one of these, or go all the way here. Or if we feel like we want this tree land stuff, which I think this forest area, we could try to get back into the forest. I think we'd have to cross some water though. Where are people thinking they want to pick up to go hunting for flora? We spent a bunch of time here last time. Clearly we're not going there. I say we either head west, try to hit these guys this way, or we double back and head into the forest. Jonathan says west. All right, we're gonna head generally west. I wish I knew if we were here or up here. I think we might be closer to here if we're on this. So let's go west and we'll try to hit this one, and then if we hit this one, we'll go northwest and try to hit this one. All right, we're gonna access this whenever we want. We're not gonna worry about paying for it. And with this mission, this might not be a terrible mission to start working on our own private destiny while we're just lackadaisically collecting flora. So we've done the research, pivot, plead. So last time we did this, we waited till we were actually facing these to do these others. We might want to do that this time. All right, this is our mission. I'll put that up here. All right, back to our location here. Although, I guess we'll do what we normally do. We'll take our first break early to let people stop watching. If you've already done this mission, don't care about this. Vantage, unlike many of the mystery games we play, is not so much, well, there are spoilers, but because you can do any different thing on any different location, it's not going to completely ruin your experience if you want to play the game yourself and even do these same missions. You could go about it differently. But if you feel like you're intrigued enough about Vantage to go pick it up and play it yourself, this might be the time to stop watching. You can come back and watch our playthrough afterwards to see how you compare. For the rest of you, I'll see you in 8 minutes. We're back. We're playing Vantage, our third playthrough. We're on a hunt today for flora. Flora of this planet. Seems harmless enough so far. We were just discussing whether we should go back to the city that we were in the last time we were in this area. I guess I'm going to suggest that we don't. I'm going to suggest that we focus on our plan of going west, but we are going to be a little more willing to go off the beaten path on this mission, I think. Now, last time we were here, what did we do? I believe we studied here. And we thought we were going to study this signpost, but instead we studied this crazy gate. We could just go west right now without doing any of these things. I guess we don't have a real strong reason to do one of these, but because you're limited to one of these per mission, I wonder if we shouldn't do one. We are actually the navigator. Should we climb up this tower and see if we can get a good view of the world? Looks kind of dangerous, but we are pretty fresh. What do you think, Jonathan? I think maybe we scale this tower and see what we can see before we head off. How often are you going to have an opportunity to get a bird's eye view? All right, so we're going to scale the tower. So you remember how this works. We're going to do a move action on card 419. Not a navigate, but a move. Scale the tower to view the surrounding area. Well, as expected, it is a fairly expensive test 4, but we are quite fresh. Is there any reason to spend tokens? This is a little bit of weird thing that I'm still wrapping my head around, or that maybe I forgot. We got places to put a couple dice. Well, one here and one here. So there is some incentive to roll more. So we're going to roll more just so that we can get one of everything. Yeah, there you go. It's a little hard to see the dice I've rolled versus the dice in here. Okay, but here they are. So we're going to put one of these on this card. We're going to put one of these on this card, which gets us a boost token here. And then these we've got to eat or re-roll, but we're just going to eat these to have the hourglass go down and the heart go down. And we can spend 2 of these for that, which is good. All right, so, well, let's hope we don't need protection from electrocution. All right, so let's read it. The cat is going crazy out there. Ample handholds and horizontal bars aid your ascent up the tower scaffolding. View page 36 of the Book of Vantages and gain 2 boosts. All right, so we've got 2 boost tokens that we just got. That's pretty good. These have to go on our character card, but we can spend them for money or for navigation move tokens. And Book of Vantages, page 36. Now, is this just going to be another map? No. Oh, now we've got... Okay, this is the first time we've seen this kind of Vantage page. So it is, as we hoped, or as we thought, an overview of our region. So we're looking down from the tower. Here we are, right here. Now, I like this especially because the way we've decided to play this game is we now have access to this page forever for all future playthroughs. So look how cool this is. That's where we are. This is region F. So now we know we're towards the top north edge of region F. To our south is this skeletal remains and cave. This is where we went last time, and we met a little spider friend. Actually, that spider creature was quite useful. Do we meet him here or somewhere else? Anyway, he was a good friend of ours. We might want to pick him up on our travels. Then you can see down south of the coast, we get into a different climate. Green little platforms, or these are just poking through the sky, or are they floating? I can't really tell. Looks like a little house here. And then we've got winter, cold snow to the west and north. Some interesting landscape. Looks like there's a little village here. A little pyramidal thing here. Looks like it's pretty hard to cross over to the west. Looks like some bridges. Doesn't look very inviting to the west. So the spider sentient, Jonathan says, was somewhere else. This is a different creature. Wow, look at this snow tundra. This does not look like a great place to, this does not honestly look like a great place to pick up flora. It looks like we'd be better off heading this way. But we could stick to our plan of going west. Gonna have to go west sooner or later. Maybe maybe today's the time. Maybe we could pick up some here. Does this look like it matches? Where is our page 20? So here's our flora and fauna. One here and here. It looks like, doesn't look like there's one. It's here though, actually. It looks like it's probably closer to here. And then one up here somewhere. I'm okay with going west. I mean, it's as good a reason as any. We're like explorers of the North Pole. We're going to go into winter cold. If we get a chance to pick up a jacket, we'll do so. But let's try it. But maybe we want to head like this way to try. Now that we know we're here, it looks like we want to go southwest and then northwest, and then we'll just head into E, and we'll try to get these. At least they're all in the same area. All right, very cool though. Very cool. That was worth it, I think. Okay, what's next for us? Now we're going to leave this area here. Let me zoom in here. Okay, so now we're leaving and we're going west, which was 224. Can I do it this way so you can see? Yeah, let's try that. So we're navigating. No, we don't need the book for this. When it's got a number on it, it's just a move one action. So we have no place to put any die that we roll. But there's no good reason not to roll. There's no good reason. I mean, might as well roll until we... Okay, so that's a nothing, which is good. We might as well see which ones are in danger. Then we'll start spending tokens for them. Okay, so 224. And if you'll remember, the way we've decided to play is I'm going to keep all the places we go up on the table so we can look at them again. 224. The other thing we could do, remember, is we could go explore our destiny on our card, which we haven't done much of before. Or we could do more of these. What's this? Yeah, we've gone right into the snow. Suffer 1 cold damage. Ouch. All right, well, that's a heart. I mean, I guess we should have known that. We did know it. We did say that probably we should get a jacket if we could. All right. From your position on the ridgeside path, a vast snowy valley unfolds to the west and north. The path continues to the south, far out of sight. Are we going to keep getting cold damage every step we take here? Without a jacket? Is this someplace we should not be going? John says, do a scan action. Probably allows to continue afterwards. A higher action might get us a guide who... It's interesting. It's like pickpocket trap. There are no people here. Who are we pickpocketing? Scan action probably allows us to do a continue. Okay, we're going to do a scan action because that's what we're good at. In fact, from a game perspective, we should always be looking for opportunities to do these purple actions to get us a cube. So we're going to do a scan action. So scan on 224. So F, meaning we're in F, scan the horizon. I feel like this is going to get us our map again. 4 tests. Wow, that's a very expensive test. Okay. That's a little problematic for... Okay, but we're going to go ahead and roll all 4 here. All right, so... Whoops. What was this at? Does anyone remember what... Tell me what this dive that was up here was. Meanwhile, I'll do these. This is going here. This morale can go here to get us a boost. We're going to take this morale there to bring that down to here. And it was a heart. So we could take the heart, but we really don't really want to. I'm going to spend 1 to re-roll this. All right, that's better. All right, we scan the horizon. The areas to the north and west are snowy, but a break in the ridge to the east could take you to a warmer area. Well, that's where we came from. So the lumpy figures in the distance seem to be moving slowly across the valley. Perhaps a herd of animals. Gain 2 boost and continue. Okay. Lumpy figures in the distance seem to be moving slowly across the valley. Perhaps a herd of animals. I wonder if we could get one of these animals to be a pack animal for us and keep us warm while we're riding on it. The lumpy figures in the distance are moving slowly across the valley. I mean, we're not going back east. North and west are snowy. Lumpy figures in the distance. How do we get to them? How do we get to those animals? This is the only part I don't love about this game. In fact, you know what? I have a design idea for this game. I think maybe these should have little lines showing like what object on this picture each of these is an interaction with. Because frequently, I mean, I want to talk to those creatures. What do you think that is? Should we hire them? Should we follow them? Probably the follow action, don't you think? Follow. I feel like hire might get us a person, but you know what? I think that might be a good thing to do anyway. Hire a guide. I think we need to hire a guide, yeah. Okay, I want to meet these creatures, but probably hiring a guide is better, and we can generate money with our cubes. All right, let's do the hire action. So, because the scan, as Jonathan predicted, let us continue, we can do another action on this card, only because it said to continue. So now we're going to, it did say to continue, right? Now we're going to do a hire action on card 224. Hire a fellow traveler to build a structure in the valley. Okay, that's not what we intended, but we're going to do it anyway. It's a 3. We don't have any of the orange tokens, so we have to roll our 3. What am I doing? These are the wrong dice. All right, so actually we're going to get our dice back here. Remember that if you can't roll them all, if there aren't enough, then they all come back, which is good. That's what we want. We want them to come back after we've benefited from them. All right, so 3 get rolled. So setback, heart, and morale, not great for us. This is the only one where we could put it if we re-rolled it, but I guess we're not going to re-roll it. We're just going to take the setback, lose a morale, lose a heart. We're going to need this perhaps for money. Okay. The Sentient offers you their services for a $7 fee? $7? Come on, guys. Who's got $7? We can't generate $7. We're not going to pay. The Sentient gives you a few tips about the construction process instead. Gain ability 1488, $2 or 1 boost, and you can continue. $7. We don't even know what we're building. He better be building a city for $7. It might as well be $7 million on this planet. All right, we're just going to take this ability, I guess, because we can generate our own money, although not $7 worth. I'd rather have an ability. What has he given us? What has he taught us? It's the build action. Can pay 2 boost to put a die here. You could put a build die here, but you have to pay 2 boosts for it. Or you could put a die here and get 1 boost. So one is cheap and beneficial, one is expensive. They always have to come from this card. Or you could spend 2 to get the symbol. And now you can do this action, a 3 build test, choose randomly. So if we have a build on another card, this lets us do it for 3. Or we could just randomly do this to get a blueprint. The blueprints are kind of useful. All right, well, let's put this in our grid here. This is not what I quite intended, though. And we can continue, though. So we're back here again. We tried to hire someone to build it, even though I thought we were hiring these herd animals. I guess I'm still inclined to go to the herd animals. It's 7 money. It's not US dollars. It's whatever the currency is on this planet, which is some space currency. It looks like this. Or it looks like the metal coins if you want to spend $20 for extra pieces. I was very close to spending these $16 for the replacement tokens. All right, what are we doing here? Are we going to trap one of these creatures or follow them? I think we should follow them or follow the path. We don't really know what this game intends when you get to choose it. I think my idea of having little lines, like, are you following the path? Are you following these creatures? Are you hiring these creatures? Are you hiring someone else? I think that would be a good idea. All right, we're going to try to follow them. We have good places to put, actually, these. So we should be taking that whenever we have a chance. All right, follow on card 224. Follow the path northeast. So we're not following the creatures. We're going northeast, which is not where we want to go. Remember the rule, one of our house rules is if the guard says something that we thought that we intended to do, and when we look it up, it says the wrong thing, then we can ignore it. So we could ignore this if we want, because we do not want to be going east. We do not want to be going east. So we're going to ignore this, I guess, because we don't want to go east. We could build ourselves a shelter. We could do the build action here. Yes, that's what we should do. We should do the build action because we are good at it. Let's do the build action. Maybe we can build a shelter for ourselves and for future travelers. All right, well, we're allowed to continue because we didn't do the follow things. We're going to do build now. Going to build a 224. Boy, we're stuck in this snowy location. All right, it's a 2 build. Build a structure in the valley. So no benefit from doing this alternative build on our card. However, we're still going to be able to put dice. So it's a build 2. So let's roll our 2. All right, so we got a heart and a nothing. We'll put the nothing up. Oops, the nothing up there, and we'll put the heart right here, which gets us a cube. So that's great. Anytime you've got an action that can go on one of these rare places, it almost seems like you should take it. All right, let's see what we've got. You sketch out a few ideas of what you might make. Gain blueprint 1297. All right, so we haven't actually built anything. We've just sketched some ideas. Okay. 1297, huh? What ideas have we come up with? It's an ambition blueprint. For 5 builds, we can build a cartographer, an embassy, a tower, or an outpost. It's a 5 build, assemble, help assemble action. Well, we don't have any great ability to do assemble. I mean, these are useful things they generate, but they're not gonna Well, nothing here sounds like it's going to help us get through the snow. And we can't continue now, so it's time for us to do something different. We have to move on. All right, it's time to travel. We can go into the vast snowy valley to the west, or we can go on the path south, far out of sight. What's it gonna be? I mean, we said we wanted to go west. This is where we are, to remind you. We're like on this trail here. So we could continue going on this trail. There's our trail. Can you see it? So we could go on this trail, or we could head right down into the valley, which is maybe where those creatures are. And this tree. So I can't tell if the trail is going to go this way or lead us down, but it seems like west is where we want to go, into this valley. All right, west it is, into the valley. 223 west. That's a, since it's a number, it's just a one move die roll, which I guess we're just gonna roll. All right, it's a morale loss. We could re-roll it, but we do have plenty of these. Let's go ahead and re-roll it. We're hoping for a setback that we can put there, actually. Oh no, this, yes. All right, let's spend one of these. Just because we have so many. All right, that's fine. All right, 223 is not on the other side of that. Wow, look at this. We do not belong in the cold without a jacket. Suffer a cold damage. All right. This feels a little bit more like Seventh Citadel, Seventh Continent, where it's punishing us for going somewhere we shouldn't. I'm not really complaining, actually. I do think that that's sensible. A set of ancient stones juts out of the snow. The northern sky is blocked by snowfall, but it tapers off to the south. Sounds like it's kind of saying, you guys got to go south if you don't want to die. Wander, study, commune, practice, scavenge, or cleave. Ancient stones and a big Christmas tree. I mean, we got to get out of here. We need a jacket. How about we scavenge? Do you think we might find a jacket? Like these stones might be telling us, there's stuff here. I think that's what we should do. We've got tokens for scavenging too. Let's scavenge. Let's see if we can find a jacket. Yeah? Let's see if we can find a jacket. All right, so we're going to scavenge on card 223. Scavenge for any lost items in the snow near the stones. It's only a 1 test. We really can't afford to lose any more heart, and we have no good place. I think we don't do this yellow take action all that often. So I'm going to go ahead and spend this so we don't have to roll any dice. And we'll just do this action here. Just as your fingers begin to freeze, you locate some coins. Gain $5. Well, I was hoping for a jacket, but maybe we can find a store to buy a jacket. 5 coins. There's a lot of money out here in the snow. Do you think maybe we should take this buy action? Maybe you can go shopping. A pelt. Maybe, yeah, maybe we should have trapped one of those animals. Well, it's too late now. Now we have to leave from here. It sounds like we gotta go south. We're gonna have to divert around here. To the south, it tapers off the snowfall. So I think going west is too dangerous for us. We're gonna have to go south. The only question is whether we might do this buy action first in case there's like a jacket to buy. I don't know where we're gonna go shopping. Outpost might be a place you could buy a jacket too. A little expensive. All right, let's get out of this snow first. We're going south. We're going to roll a die for our 1 move action south. Okay, it's an hourglass. That's great. We can put that right here. And now we're going to 218. Let's remember we can come back to the snowy area when we get a jacket. All right, 218 going south. Look at that. There's the traveler. This stone is a tourist magnet used by the metal sentients for luring unsuspecting travelers to what they call the enchanted forest. So the metal sentients lure unsuspecting travelers. Well, that doesn't sound like something we want. We don't want to be lured into a tourist attraction. But look what you can do. You can try to weaponize it. Weaponize it. You can study it. You can consult the traveler for more information. Try to siphon off some magic. Or you could just be on your way. Do you think we are here? Are we here, you think? We went into the valley. I don't know if we're here or if we're actually here. I mean, there are trees. I think maybe we're right there. Yeah, we're right here. We went down into the valley and we ended up in this forest of trees. So south would be this crazy thing. West looks dangerous. I think we should go south into this crazy thing. Looks like a UFO site. Don't you think we're here? This is surely where we are. All right, do you want to do anything while we're here, though? Tourist magnet. I mean, we could consult this guy and see what more he can tell us about it. The enchanted forest. Or we could study it ourselves. I feel like consulting should be cheap and gain us information, so let's consult. So I'm going to consult even though we don't have this token. 218. It's a 1 test. Consult the traveler about escaping this planet. Oh, it's about everything you do here. It's like you think you're asking about one thing, you think you're doing something, you're doing another, but it doesn't matter. It's a 1 test. Let's go ahead. Okay, it's a heart. Well, if we took this heart, our game would be over. How do you like that? So we're going to have to re-roll it. Thankfully, we have some re-rolls. So we're going to spend a boost to reroll this. And it's a setback. We'll just take that and consult this guy about that. The traveler's tone grows somber. This world offers powers beyond the normal grasp of humans. Mastering magic, like that found in this lodestone, presents an opportunity for you to travel great distances in a single step. Gain 1 boost and Destiny 1604. You may continue. All right, well, is this our first Destiny we've ever seen in this game? This might be our first Destiny. Let's see, maybe we got a Destiny before. Look at this. Teleport back home. Have the teleportation spell. If you do, you may complete the Destiny by reading 1604 in the Book of Secrets. Whoa. Wow. Teleport, huh? This kind of looks like a teleportation thing. So this is a way to teleport into the enchanted forest. So this could take us far from where we are now, but we could research it and learn how to, I don't know if we want to be trying for this Destiny. Well, right now we can just put it here. I mean, actually, we are good at, we're quite good at doing this action. So we should do this action, but we should probably do it here while we can. And we'll do this later on a subsequent round. So let's, it said we may continue, so let's study this. So we're going to study card 218. So it's a 1 study. That's great, because no matter what we roll, we're going to be able to use it. Study the properties of the magnetic rock. Okay, let's go ahead and do a study test. It's this. That's odd. I mean, I could put it, I guess we're going to put it here and get a boost. All right. Let's see what happens. You can see why there's an aura of mystery and power around this place. As you examine the stone, you realize that your feet are no longer touching the ground. You're levitating in orbit around the stone with the outer shards. You kick away, falling to the snow. A newfound power surging through you. Gain lesson 1431. Have we ever gained a lesson before? I don't think so. What do you think a lesson is? Is it like a spell we now know? Look at this. It's a spell. Level 3 mind magic. So we can take a learn action, a look learn an advanced spell. Tapping into mana requires risk and sacrifice. Gain lesson 1432. You might lose this card. So look at what this thing is at the top. So it says when you take a look learn action, you can put an hourglass here. When you do, you gain this spell. So look what's happened. This is something you can try to do. So you can try to do a look action. All right, a learn action. So the group has never seen this before, this X. Does anyone know what this means? I know what it means, but, well, I'll just tell you. So this is a learned skill test, and we could choose how many dice to roll. So you can see how it works. You choose how many dice to roll, you do this. You're hoping to get an hourglass that you could put up here. Regardless of whether you do or not, you're gaining this lesson 1432, which probably kills this card and you won't be able to do this again. So you're sort of incentivized to roll a bunch of dice, but then you'll have to pay for those dice. Of course, we don't have to do this now. It goes into our possession, but it's awfully tempting to do this while we're here around these magic stones. However, we don't have much place to put our dice, and since we don't have to do it now, we probably shouldn't. We should wait until we've got better placements for our dice. Although we do have a bunch of rerolls and some tokens. Wow, that's pretty cool though. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put this into our supply. That was our study, so now we have to move on. I think we agreed that west is dangerous, and I'm sort of curious to go in here and see what this is about. Look at this little, I don't know if it's a portal. It looks magic. So I think we go south. West looks dangerous. Let's go south. I think if we want to go west, we're going to have to go down here this way. It is too dangerous to travel in the snow without jackets. So we're going to go west, which is an asterisk, which means we go here and we say we're going to navigate, which is that compass rose, and we give it the card number 218, and now it's going to tell us what happens if we try to go south. So it's a 4 test. Sneak south around a fortified location. So we're not even allowed to go in that fortified location. All right. Well, it's a 4 test. We have one place we're going to be able to put this nav. No, this is not a navigation test. What kind of test is it? I mean, it's not a move test. It's this test, which means we can't use our navigation placements. We're going to have to absorb this all on ourselves. We can't even use our tokens for this. We might be doing a lot of re-rolling here. All right. Well, actually, because we're not going to and can't use tokens, we don't have enough here. So these all come back. Gives us a place to put this. We need to get more places to put our dice. All right, let's do the 4. We might be doing a whole bunch of re-rolling here. All right, well, we can put the hourglass there. And I guess we're going to put this back here. They're all here. We can't afford to absorb the heart. We're going to have to find a way to recover soon. So we're going to spend this to re-roll the heart. I guess we're going to eat this. We're just going to re-roll our heart. Our morale is pretty bad. I don't know if it's worth re-rolling it. I guess we'll re-roll it once if we get... Oh, that's... Yeah, let's re-roll it. All right, so that's that. All right, we successfully snuck around the fortified location. Even knowing what the traveler told you about the stone, it's hard to leave it behind. So it was hard for us to leave. Okay. 213. But we did leave. Feels like a tough mission. All right, here's 213. Whoa, there's the triangle. All right, so we weren't bypassing the pyramid. We were just had a hard time leaving that magic. A pyramid-shaped force field makes the air pulsate with energy. Volunteer. Sneak, spy, lure, volunteer, disarm, or dig. So we're good at the purple stuff, so we could spy. I think probably that's our best bet, especially since we're so good at it. So let's do that. And maybe we can learn a little bit more about what this is. Force field, huh? I'm not sure we have the ability to disarm it, but maybe we can see if what's in there is worth it. Jonathan wants to try to dig under the force field. I don't think that's going to work. Okay, here we go. We are doing 213 spying action, mainly because we're good at placing purple. 4, spy on, wow, 4. We're going to die on this scenario very quickly, I believe. All right, let's spend one of our tokens so that we only have to roll 3 dice, because that's still a lot. It's the better camera for this. All right, let's see. We're spying on the building. All right. Okay, well, this can go here. This can go here, which gets us another boost. And then I'm afraid we're just going to eat this one. It's a very dangerous situation to have 2 things that could cause you death, because now every reroll is just as likely to kill you on the other one. All right, but we succeeded. Several guards patrol the area. The light emanating from the building is so bright you can't make out its contents, but it does illuminate a rune caster near the rear of the ruins. Gain 2 boost, 1 random skill. You may continue. All right, so 2 boost. At least we have a bunch of rerolls available to us now. And a random skill, which is an overpower, which we now have 2 of. So we might want to start being inclined to overpower here. Wow, guards patrolling the area. This is not our thing. This is not our thing. We don't even know what a runecaster is. How about we look at the glossary for what a runecaster is? Runes are found throughout the world that match the icons. Oh, the runes. I mean, this is not a rune caster, but clearly it's related to it. And we keep seeing these runes, so let's read this. It says there are runes throughout the world. We keep seeing them. We often see overpower ones that match the icons of the 6 skills. Some actions will ask you to look for specific runes on your current location. The color of the runes is not important. Some are well hidden as a result, nor is there mirroring. Only their shape matters. Okay, so we've learned a little bit about the color not mattering, and whether it's mirrored doesn't matter. All right, but wow, you could volunteer. Dig. I mean, we have overpowers. I just don't, this doesn't seem like it's our thing. So if we go west now, here's where we are. If we go west, we're back in the snow. I think we might take health damage, which would kill us. So I think we're going to have to go south. I don't see any way around it. We're about to die. I think we got to get out of this winter stuff. So I think south it is. Unfortunately, it could be expensive for us, but I don't see any way around it. So from here, we are going south, which is a navigate 213, which should give us choices. Look at how nice this little app is. So we click on the south tab and it just says tap to reveal second. So we could trek into the valley. I guess the reason that was hidden is because you might be wondering, like, should we go southeast? Should we go north? Should we go south? And we've chosen to go south. Wait, that's not quite right. Because we might want to go southeast, but we don't. We don't. So this is a weird thing about the game that the rules tell you, like, even though these are just the cardinal directions on the cards, occasionally when you get an asterisk, it'll give you the option to go diagonally. But we really don't want to go east. We want to go pure south. All right, so we're doing a 3 trek. I almost feel like this should be a navigation modifier. Rather, that would let us use our navigation. Let me just look up here in the book to see if there's any. This is a weird rule thing that I'm not 100% sure about. It seems like often often the navigate symbol feels like it's a modification of the move thing because we're trekking. So I'm going to call this a move modifier. Why that's important is that, I'm going to call it a move action. Why that's important is that we have a place to put move related stuff. And we have move tokens. So even though this has got that navigation symbol, I believe this is a move trek action. So we could use our stuff, but I guess we're just going to roll. Well, we're close to dying. However, I want to make sure that we get one of these to put in here. All right, I'm going to roll 3, and then we'll have to re-roll if we need to. All right, well, that's absolutely terrible. We have to re-roll all of them. Probably we're going to die right here. I'm going to spend 3 of our boosts. Well, I guess we'll do 1 at a time. All right, here's our heart that we're paying to re-roll. Yeah, this is ridiculous. So we can't afford to keep this. So we're going to have to spend to re-roll this. We got the same thing. We still have to spend it. But we gain a token for that. So this could be death for us right here. We have to spend another one to re-roll this. It's an hourglass. Guess we'll just eat that. Now we're going to spend another one to re-roll this. That's a heart, which we can't afford. So here's another one. That's a heart we can't afford, but we rolled the same thing, so we get another token here. Then we spend a boost to reroll one. This is so rich. All right, this is now we're seeing one of the areas where this game is getting stupid. All right, so we've spent 6 boost and not really helped ourselves at all and died. All right, seems pretty ridiculous to me. And not a matter of skill or bad choices, just a matter of silliness. All right, well, we've gone ahead and died. So remember what we're supposed to do here. Rules are not really clear about what you want to do with these. I'm going to put them here. So we died. So what do you do when you die? You read the death associated with this mission. And the death is the take entry, I believe. So to remind you, the way it works is if your morale health reduced to 0, read the missions entry in the take storybook. So we go here, we look up take 1580. You travel to this planet to immerse yourself in botany, but you're exhausted. Choose one. If you completed a destiny, if you completed the mission, if you feel you had a fair shot, or if you feel your untimely demise happened far too soon. So we're going to rally to take one final chance. Refresh all challenge dice, roll them, and gain everything. If you're at 0, it ends. Okay, so we get all our dice back. And we re-roll them and get this much stuff. Okay, so pretty terrible, actually. In fact, we just died. We died. Why did we die? We died because we didn't roll any hearts, and our health is at 0. All right. And we have no more re-rolls. Yeah. So we could technically put this on this, which would generate a boost on this card. But that doesn't help us. There's no other place to put... I mean, we can put the hourglass here. That doesn't get us anything, no. So there's no way to get more rerolls. So yeah, that's it. All right, so what we'll do here is we will take a break since we've played for an hour here. We'll take a 5-minute... No, we could take our full break. We'll come back. We'll talk about this this session, how we feel, what we want to do. We could restart, we could start a new game, or we could just probably call it, which, I mean, I'm up for playing for 3 or 4 more hours, but I feel like it's almost like defeating the cost of losing if you allow yourself to continue. So I think we're going to lose this mission. We are not going to allow ourselves to continue on this mission, but I do want to talk about it a little bit. So I'll see you in 8 minutes. Well, we died. We died in the snow. I'm sorry to make you wait around for 8 minutes just to hear that we're going to end the session here, but I think we've talked it over. And for the sake of future plays, we are going to end the session here and say goodnight after only 2 hours. A short game for us here on this channel. We had some bad luck. I think we saw a little bit of the... We're seeing the cracks in the facade of Vantage over the last little bit. There's something distinctly unpleasant about rolling 7 dice. Not 7, 10, 8 dice. And if you got lucky, you'd basically be reset to full health and have another 3 hours of gameplay, and you get unlucky and you die instantly. It's a little bit, I mean, bad luck happens, but it does feel a little bit weird. Like there's no, it's not a matter of skill. It's not a matter of that we did something very risky. It's not something that we had much control over this game. So there's that. On the other hand, you could argue that we walked willingly right into the snow and we lost 2 health by doing that. And that would have made the difference, and maybe we had no business going in that direction at all, especially if you're looking for plants. And we have learned not to go there without a jacket. Or that we should have trapped one of those creatures. The exploration here is still very strong. And our adventure was not without some very cool stuff. I mean, we learned magic. We learned spells. We weren't able to trigger them, but this was very exciting. We discovered a destiny that seems super cool. This guy's pretty terrible at his job, but wow, learning to teleport. Have the teleport spell. I mean, I wonder if we couldn't have shifted straight over to this. Did this get us this? Is that right? It wasn't a coincidence that we had these two. So we still have a long way to go. And we discovered some cool locations. So, I mean, it was cool. It was fun. But look at all these tokens. I suppose we could have used these. I suppose that's one thing that it's very rare that we die, but we died so suddenly. If we had used these instead of rolling dice, maybe we would have been able to preserve our health a little bit longer. Well, that's a bit of a shame, missed opportunity then. If we did get these, Jonathan, independently, it feels like maybe we should have focused on our destiny. Well, we learned the map before. If we come back, if we get this again, we'll be smarter about it. We did know that if we were hunting for plants in the ice winter wasteland, that was asking for a little bit of trouble. So maybe we brought it on ourselves. And we did, for the first time, see this beautiful little overview of our area, which we now will have access to in the future, unofficially. I do like that idea, and it looks like maybe there's probably ways to get one of these for each area. So it's kind of it would be a fun little thing to try to figure out in every area how to get this. Is it always going to be climbing a tower? Are there towers in every region? I mean, there's a lot of regions. I'm still amazed by the ambition and scope of this game. I'm not sure how you could have done this better, this dice rolling. It's not entirely satisfying to me, though, this dice rolling thing, at least when it goes bad for you. All right, we're going to end the session here. The group will have to decide on the Discord or on the Board Game Geek forum for Co-op for Two, the guild. There are links to both of those on this YouTube video. Decide when you want to play next. We could play tomorrow evening, or we could wait until next Monday, which would make sense too if we want to do a regular Monday playthrough. Let me know. On Thursday, we'll be playing the new Cryptic Killers, Murder of a Magician, and then on Saturday, Hunt a Killer, Game Night Gone Wrong, maybe something on Friday, and surely something on Sunday. So a whole bunch of live streams this week. Unexpectedly short one tonight. I hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you next time.